Open three is good.
Shot towards the goal. Oh, Christopher.
Nice.
Tough shooting is scored.
Hello and welcome to Sports Jam on CCX Sports. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Happy New Year. Today on the show, it's a holiday tournament recap. Plus, we'll take a look back at the year in high school sports in 2016.
Up first, boys basketball action from the Granite City Classic. Top-ranked Champlin Park cruised past Woodbury in their first game of the two-day event. The Rebels met Madison East from Wisconsin in round two. McKinley Wright floats the pass, and Theo John drops it in for the Rebels early in the first half. Really nice catch-and-shoot three-pointer here by Josiah Strong to give Champlin Park a 19-16 lead. Wright drives baseline and hits a sweet reverse layup. The Rebels lead 41-28 at the break. Early second half, Marcus Hill picks up the loose ball and gets this shot to fall, plus a foul. Brian Smith with a long three-pointer for the Rebels, starting a 20-0 run. Wright runs the break, and a nice pass to Hill for the easy two. Champlin Park out and running. John fights for the loose ball and gets it to Strong, who passes to Wright for the hoop. Rebels take a 30-point lead on the way to an 87-65 win. They go 2-0 in the tournament. And Maple Grove scores a big win in round two, racing past Apple Valley 103-87. And Juan Pickford at 32 points, Brad Davison 31 for the Crimson, who also went 2-0 at the Granite City.
The Hopkins boys basketball team was part of the TCO Classic at Augsburg. The Royals meeting St. Paul Johnson in the second round. First half, Ishmael Elamine jumps on the loose ball, and he goes all the way in for the dunk for the Royals. Then they swing it around to Anthony Davis, and he pops a three from the corner. The Royals lead this one by 21 at halftime. Second half, and Hopkins freshman Blaze Beauchamp hits a three from way beyond the arc. Nice work underneath by Hopkins' Simon Wright as he gets a couple of rebounds, and then the putback hoop for a 54-26 lead. And Daryl Mayfield will get a steal, and Davis finishes the fast break with a big slam as the Royals whip the Governors to 80-31. However, Hopkins lost to Minnehaha Academy in the third round.
Wayzata and Park Center are both off to strong starts this season in boys basketball. The two unbeaten teams met at the University of St. Thomas Holiday Tournament. We pick it up in the second half of this game. Gavin Baumgartner with a three, putting the Trojans up 32-25. Then a three from the corner by Luke Paulson makes it 42-30 Trojans. The Pirates rally. Emmanuel Tamba with a nice steal. He takes it all the way and scores, cutting Wayzata's lead to 46-44. Jerry's Cook hits the jump shot for Park Center, and it's 46-all. But Wayzata then goes on an 8-0 run. Nice move by Baumgartner. He scores for a 54-46 Trojans lead. PC rallies one more time. Ari Broadway driving for the basket and foul and missed the free throw, leaving Wayzata with a 56-54 lead with under 20 seconds to play. The Pirates have a chance to tie it. Xavier Bonner's shot is off. The Trojans hand Park Center its first loss, 59-54. Wayzata also beat Cretin-Derham Hall in the tournament.
Now to girls hockey, where Armstrong Cooper hosted its 21st annual holiday tournament. The Fergus Falls Otters, Armstrong Cooper's opponent in round two. On the first shift of the game, the pass deflects up in the air and is batted on goal. Abby Hobbs is there to put the rebound away as Fergus Falls strikes 31 seconds in. 4 minutes later on a power play, Ellie Anderson's shot from the slot gets through traffic for a goal, and it's 2-0 Otters. Anderson scores on a nice backhander as Fergus Falls wins 6-0. Armstrong Cooper did beat Wilmer in round three.
Champlin Park's girls hockey team was looking to win the Armstrong Cooper Holiday Classic for a third straight year. Rebels taking on Minneapolis in their second game. Hannah Lisney shoots. Watch the great deflection by Kaylee Wood. Champlin Park takes a 1-0 lead. Late in the first period, Leah Hairwall picks off the Minneapolis pass and fires the shot home. The Rebels take a 2-0 lead into the first intermission. In the final seconds of the second period, Wood scores on a wraparound. Champlin Park goes on to win 4-0. However, the Rebels lost to Fergus Falls on Saturday as the Otters went 3-0 in the tournament. Following a season-opening loss to Edina, Maple Grove's girls hockey team won 11 straight. The Crimson got another shot at the Hornets as the two faced off in the semifinals of the Walser tournament in Edina. Anna Klein passes to Brooke Tucker. Her wrist shot finds the back of the Crimson net. Edina leads 1-0 on a first period power play goal. Then Klein drives hard to the net and snipes in a great shot from a tough angle. Edina leads Maple Grove 2-0 through one period. Good scoring chance for Maple Grove in the second period, but Anna Goldstein stops Katie Denicky point blank to keep the Crimson off the board. At the other end, Brianna Blessy comes up huge. This save stopping Lolita Fiddler and keeping it a 2-0 game. The Crimson get as close as 2-1, but Edina skating into the final with their second win this year over Maple Grove.
In the other semifinal at the Walser, Breck met Eastview. Grace Zumwinkle with a first period breakaway, and she tucks it away with a sweet backhander for a 1-0 Mustangs lead. Second period, and Zumwinkle on the move again. And this time she'll set up Carly Binnick for the goal, and it puts Breck up 2-0. The Lightning respond to make it a one-goal game once again as number 8, Annie Luzum, will knock home a rebound. A 2-1 hockey game, but Gophers recruit Zumwinkle gets alone again to score, putting Breck up 3-1. Breck wins 4-1. They upset unbeaten Edina in a shootout in the tournament final. The Schwann Cup tournament features 5 divisions for girls hockey. The North Metro Stars had a successful run in the Open National Division. North Metro facing Marshall in second round play. In overtime, Marshall can't clear it. Kayla Shadle fires, and Aaliyah Bjork is there to bury the rebound as North Metro wins 3-2. They also beat Evelyn Gilbert for their first 2 wins of the season. So nice to celebrate the holidays with a couple of victories for them.
Maybe gives them a little momentum here going into the last part of the conference season as well. Coming up on Sports Jam, more tournament highlights from boys hockey and girls basketball. Stay with us.
Welcome back to our first Sports Jam of 2017.
The Breck boys hockey team skated in the silver division of the Schwann Cup tournament. Mustangs facing off with Creighton Durham Hall in the quarterfinals. First period, Mustangs goalie Lyndon Olness makes a nice glove save on the Raiders' John Gleason, and it's a scoreless game through one. Early in the second period, Grayson Milicic picks the top right corner with his shot, giving the Raiders a 1-0 lead. Breck answers less than 3 minutes later. Brandon Leitz's point shot tipped in by number 10 Carter Breitenfeld, and it's tied up at 1. Then Grant Parrish banks the puck off the sideboards, and it ends up past the D and onto the stick of Austin Heidemann, who shoots and scores. And Breck has the lead 2-1. Same score in the third when Breitenfeld drops the puck back for Mitch Macklett coming down the slot. Macklett's goal gives Breck a 2-goal lead. The Mustangs go on to win it 4-1. Later in the tournament, Breck tied St. Michael Albertville 2-2, but because it's a tournament, a winner is needed, and the Mustangs beat the Red Knights 3-2 in a shootout. Breitenfeld scored the winning goal in the 6th round.
Wayzata played in the gold division of the Schwann Cup, but found the going a little tough. Wayzata meeting St. Thomas Academy in the quarterfinal round. The Cadets' Robbie Stucker connects on the long home run pass to Ray Christie for the breakaway. He scores to give St. Thomas Academy a 1-0 lead. Later in the first, goalie Sawyer Anderson dives to deflect the pass, but Willie Rhyme follows up to score, and the Cadets go up 2-0 after a period. On a shorthanded rush, Colin Schmidt will give it to Griffin Ness, but watch the save by Vinny Capeza for the Cadets. That's worth another look. A great save keeps Wayzata off the board. Wayzata does get a goal here as freshman Ryan Mulrennan makes a nice move and buries it, but St. Thomas wins 3-1. The Trojans went 0-3 in the tournament. Now to girls basketball, where Park Center hosted its annual 2-day tournament. The 9th-ranked Pirates faced number 4 Elk River, and it's all Elks early. Their top gun, Gabby Hawk, gets through the lane to score. She nets the first 9 points in the game. Park Center comes back, though. Danielle Schaub with a hesitation dribble and layup. The Pirates tie it at 9, 17 points for Schaub in the game. Summer Blakemore hits a step-back 3. She hits 3 threes in the first half. Park Center's up 36-33 at halftime. Park Center surges into the lead as Ann Simonette buries a long 3. She scores 13 for the Pirates. But Elk River comes back. Sydney Wentland hits a 3 to tie the game at 65-65. She scores 18. And Kelsey Cox flashes open in the lane to score. Elk River takes the lead for good. They add free throws and win 71-66.
Also in the Park Center tournament, Champlin Park faced unbeaten Orono. Erica Hicks with a nice drive with a basket for 2 plus a foul. Rebels lead 8-0 less than 90 seconds into the game. Hicks with a corner 3 puts the Rebels up 13-4. She had 22 first half points. Tori Andrew tries to keep the Spartans in the game. Hits that 3, but they never seriously threatened in this game. Allison Garrett's a nice bounce pass ahead to Grace Warwa. And Champlin Park leads by 12. Great hoop here. Amanda Pollard passes to Garrett, quickly to Hicks on the backdoor play. Hicks scores a career-high 32 points. Champlin Park wins it 65-49. Rebels also beat Rogers for the team's 3rd straight win. And Jay, a big win for Hopkins in girls basketball. They beat Eastview, a number 1 versus number 2 matchup at the St. Olaf tournament.
This just in, Hopkins is pretty good again. 2 teams that had been sailing along before their tournaments, Cooper and Wayzata, each went 1-2 in their holiday tournament play. Next up, a look at the year 2016 in prep sports in the Northwest suburbs when Sports Jam continues.
As we begin a new calendar year, we thought this would be a good time to look back at some of the top local prep sports stories from 2016. Here's the year in about 4.5 minutes.
The Armstrong girls skied in with one of the year's first state championships. The Falcons, led by senior Hannah Rudd, won the state Nordic title in Bowabic, supplanting 3-time defending champion Wayzata. The Trojans finished second.
Going Wendy to the front and she scores.
What a year for hockey. Maple Grove won its section in girls hockey and reached the state Class AA championship before losing in overtime to Eden Prairie. It was the best finish in school history for the Crimson.
Benjamin falls down 2-0 and a goal.
A best in school history finish is what the Wayzata boys hockey team enjoyed as well. The Trojans won a tough Section 6 AA tournament, then beat Burnsville, Stillwater, and Eden Prairie to set off a wild state victory celebration for the Trojans. This area again produced a number of strong basketball teams. Osseo surprised a lot of people by going into the state boys tournament with an unbeaten record. The Orioles reached the Class 4A semifinals before suffering their first loss.
What a block by Reaver!
Hopkins won its 7th state title since 2002 as the Royals defeated North St. Paul, Apple Valley, and Lakeville North en route to the championship. The Panthers beat Section 8 4A champion Maple Grove in the state tourney quarterfinals. Both Park Center and Hopkins reached the state 4A tournament in girls basketball. The Royals defeated the Pirates in the tournament quarterfinals, but later lost in the title game to Minnetonka. In Class A, Maranatha Christian Academy made its 7th straight state tournament appearance, finishing as state runner-up. To the spring sports and girls golf. Heritage Christian Academy junior Kiera Smith won the Class A tournament by a single stroke to win her 2nd state title. Hopkins was the lone team to reach the state softball tournament in 2016. The Section 6 3A champion Royals were in the tournament for the first time since 2011. This area was also home to some terrific talent in track and field. A score of local athletes took home medals, while the Wayzata boys won state for a 2nd year in a row. In baseball, both Champlin Park and Wayzata won their way through all the way to the championship game in Class 3A. The final state tournament game of the spring took place on a Monday night at Target Field, and the Trojans beat the Rebels to capture the title. In the fall, All-American Sydney Hilly headlined a great class of volleyball players. The senior led Champlin Park to its 3rd straight state tournament, where the Rebels lost in the final to Egan. Hopkins, led by future Gopher Jazz Martin, reached state for his 2nd year in a row. The same held true for Heritage Christian Academy, where a talented Eagles senior class helped their team to the Class A tournament.
Down for a kill.
In boys cross country, Wayzata took home championship hardware for the 10th time in school history. 3 of the top 5 finishers in the state Class AA race were from the area. Wayzata's Khalid Hussein, Seth Eliason of Hopkins, and Alex Miley of Maple Grove. Wayzata's boys soccer team got to the state Class AA soccer final in the first year of the tournament at U.S. Bank Stadium. A great year for Wayzata as they finished second. Benilde St. Margaret's won the Class A Girls Soccer Championship. The District 279 adapted soccer team, the Park Center Pirates, won its second straight state championship in the CI Division. Park Center beat North Suburban in the final. Carly Quast of Wayzata set a new state girls swimming meet record in the 200 freestyle race, winning in a time of 1 minute 47.33 seconds. Quast later won gold in the 100 backstroke and was part of the winning 200 medley relay team for the state runner-up Trojans. In football, deep playoff runs for both Champlin Park and Maple Grove. Led by Metro Player of the Year Brad Davison, the Crimson won 7 games, losing in the state quarterfinals to Eden Prairie, while the Rebels won back-to-back thrillers against Eastfield and Rosemont before falling to Eden Prairie in the state 6A semifinals. Like soccer, it was the first year at U.S. Bank Stadium for the state semifinals and finals. At the Prep Bowl, both Benilde St. Margaret's and Totino Grace won titles. The Red Knights rallied to beat Winona to win its first state championship, while the Eagles, playing up 2 classes, won its 10th championship overall, but first ever in Class 6A, beating perennial power Eden Prairie 28-20.
And as we start 2017, we have a number of local basketball teams ranked in the top 10. Maple Grove's girls hockey team perhaps skating toward another state tournament appearance. And Champlin Park and Maple Grove looking like they could each win section championships in gymnastics. An exciting first quarter to this year. Sports Jam returns in a moment as Jay takes a look back at a special anniversary for our prep football program.
The Champlin Park football team made a nice playoff run this fall, reaching the state semifinals. It marked the 25th season of Rebels football. We take a look back at this spotlight story from October. 25 years ago this fall, Champlin Park High School opened and the Rebels football program kicked off. While everything was new and exciting, it wasn't all smooth sailing to start in 1992.
Unlike some schools that have started out later, they kind of learned from our situation and they chose to do a JV schedule only that first year and then do a varsity the second year. We didn't do that. We went and played a varsity schedule that first year, and yeah, we took our knocks a little bit.
The upperclassmen weren't required to come over to Champlin Park, and so we had kind of a unique group of juniors and seniors, and I just remember the first year opening up and we didn't even have phones on this end of the building. I remember being about 3 or 4 days into practice, and Coach Herman, who started the program here, his son was out there actually on his bike, and he was going to be a 9th grader. And after about 4 days of practice, we looked at him. I said, Tate, you better go home and get your pads because we're going to need you.
I remember Tom Van Voris and I were talking before the season started, and we said, okay, whatever we do, we don't want to know anything about our kids' football background. We didn't want to come in with any preconceived biases about who could play, who couldn't play. We actually went back into the locker room then and did exactly what we said we weren't going to do, and found out that probably 90% of the kids hadn't played football before or hadn't played much football before. Their background was very limited.
The Rebels were, not surprisingly, winless in that first season and won 1 game in 1993. But it wasn't long before this was a program on the rise. The Rebels won 8 games in 1995 and entered a great stretch in the late 1990s and 2000s. They made Prep Bowl appearances in 1998 and 2002 and won 5 conference and 3 section titles from 98 to 2008.
Being a part of the Prep Bowl, being a part of just, yeah, the whole system, going down to the Metrodome and stuff like that, the things you do different next time, and all those kind of things. So you'd like to get back sometime to be able to try some of those other ideas out.
98, I mean, we kind of knew coming in what a special group that was. They'd had success. I mean, and those kids were a really tight group, and that was their ultimate goal. And I mean, and they spent a lot of time trying to achieve that. 2002 again was a group that, you know, that kind of came out of nowhere, and you know, we weren't really expected to do that well, and we had a kid come in and play quarterback, Jake Nelson and stuff, and I think we kind of surprised a lot of people.
Those glory years featured some outstanding players, guys like future NFL players Ramon Humber and Komanyan Quay, the Marish brothers, aptly named linebackers Mike and Sam, record-setting runner Riza Mahmoud, and gutsy running back Caven Shear. A couple of players we talked to have some fond memories of their time as Champlin Park football players.
That 04 run we had and going to the Dome for the semis, we had a pretty stacked team. It was fun with those guys, being with those guys through that fall, and a lot of us are still really good friends now to this day. So it was an epic year for us.
It was great because we were, at the time, kind of living in Anoka in Blaine's shadow. We were the new school, the new kid on the block, and nothing was really done. We had a hockey team make it to state in '96, and so that was, and our baseball team was pretty competitive, but the football team was always still in Anoka and Blaine's shadow, and coming out and beating each of them twice that year was pretty special.
While their success on the field was noteworthy, Champlin Park football was put in the spotlight statewide and even nationally when their volunteer strength coach, Jesse Ventura, was elected governor of Minnesota.
Out on the field, the day after he got elected, on the practice field, we're trying to go out and get, practice going, and you couldn't even find blacktop to walk out to get on there because it was covered with media. And media was all up and down, and we walked out going, holy cow. I mean, it was crazy. It was like nothing I ever saw. I thought I was at a circus.
I think a lot of people think that Coach Ventura came on when he was going to be governor, and it was kind of one of those things where he could get some publicity. And if you really know the story, that's not at all true. Number one, the kids loved him. Number two, the kids had some experiences because of his connection with us that they would never, ever have had, and they'll never forget.
The Rebels were 5-3 in this 25th anniversary regular season and haven't had as much success in recent years. They aren't the shiny new school anymore, but an established program that the coaches take great pride in being part of.
You stay in coaching because it's rewarding to watch young men grow and become young adults and go on. But I think the most rewarding thing is when they really become adults and they circle back and they still want to see the program succeed, and they're still involved. And you get those emails from guys that haven't been here for 10 years and they're still looking on Saturday morning and following the program. So I think that tells you that they're pretty proud of what they were involved in, and you had a little piece in that.
It's everything. I think that's why we still do it. With all the changing and the way things are, I think it's because we're together and we're a group and we're a family. I think that's why we hang out and we keep coming back every fall.
Former Coach Herman went on to become coach and athletic director at Austin and is now in his final season as athletic director at White Bear Lake. We'll be right back after our Plays of the Week.
Oh, nice backdoor cut, and Hicks finishes.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And that will do it for our first Sports Jam of 2017 here on CCX Sports.
Teams get back into the heart of the regular season now as we get into January. Thanks so much for watching Sports Jam.